What's going on? Welcome back to the Dad Compass podcast. We had three tragedies happen in such a short time. We had a political assassination. We had the tragedy on the subway from with the Ukrainian girl, and then we had the school shooting in Colorado. In today's episode, we're going to dive in and talk about it and give our 2 cents if anybody cares about them. Right now, I just wish all the families because I'm sure they're all dealing with a lot of shit right now.
A
That
lot of
didn't sound
shit.
very good. A lot.
All right, let's get into it. I'm Patrick, by the way.
That shit's loud. I'm Patrick, by the way. Well, this is our episode 30. I'm just saying, if you can believe it, we've done this for 30 weeks.
30 consecutive weeks.
30 consecutive weeks.
We haven't
That is
missed
the
one yet.
most. I know this is the most consistent thing I've ever done besides being a father. Like, that's a lot.
All right, let's
Yeah, I
get into
mean,
it.
let's dive in. So let's jump on like Charlie. So you know who Charlie Kirk is, right?
So honestly, I did not until after the shooting. With that being said, as soon as I had sawn, it was all over Facebook. So as soon as I saw pictures of him, I did then know who he was, and I'd seen some of his debates.
Yeah. So essentially, what he does is he goes to college campuses and he started a thing called Turning Point America, and he goes and debates about. He did debate about pretty controversial topics. So you'd have people that are talking about like transgenderism, you talk about like black on white violence, or just like racial issues, abortion. Like he let people talk and ask him and communicate. And I thought that was a pretty crazy thing to do. Like you're literally sitting there surrounded by all these college kids, and you got professors and all these kind of people walking up to him and they're asking him questions, and then they get into the debates, and instead of just like shutting everybody out, it's like no, like go ahead. And it gets heated sometimes.
You
Those
know what?
kids are pretty respectful.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was one thing that I noticed about him is that he never like raised his voice, never disrespected the person he was debating.
Yep. He was very like, just that's all he wanted to do. It's like, hey, we have a problem in this country where freedom of speech is kind of in jeopardy, in a sense of like, and it's not like politically, right? Or I guess it's not like a law that freedom of speech is going away, but it's just this day and age where everybody's got an opinion. And the worst part is nobody can have this opinion anymore without clashing. It's like, we can't have a discussion. So it's cool.
It was cool.
It was cool. It was cool. They had their podcast go, and they left his seat empty because pretty much just to signalize that, hey, nobody can take a seat.
Did you watch
Which is
it?
kind of crazy, man. No,
Did you
no,
watch
I
the
didn't.
podcast?
No, I barely even watch our podcast. But we
Just so
did
you guys
actually
know,
watch it.
Dimitri does not watch podcasts.
I don't, but I have a good story about our podcast
About ours?
for this week. Yeah, for our Fatherhood Unscripted.
Oh, okay.
So he was shot by a high power rifle. His wife and his children were right there. They witnessed it as well as everybody else. And then this dude was finally caught because his father turned him in. His name was Tyler James Robinson, 22-year-old. He was in an electrical apprenticeship program at Dixie Technical College. No prior criminal record. Family described him as quiet, academically strong. He had previously enrolled in Utah State University, but dropped out after one semester. Arrested after a 33-hour manhunt, turned himself in with the help of his father, family after confession or admission to a family member. Being held without bail. Fucking good. I think so. I saw this thing that Trump was like pretty much enacting: if you commit murder in Washington, D.C., your death penalty. I thought that was kind of good.
Nice.
I think that if you do shit like this, you should be gotten rid of.
Well, I think the only thing that I would debate a little bit, we had two situations that happened specifically. One was a 22-year-old and one was a 15-year-old. Was he 15? The kid that shot up Evergreen? 16. Okay.
Yep. Shot 2 students, one inside and one outside the school, then died by suicide from a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Which clearly he's not somebody we got to worry about.
Yeah.
I think part of my struggle is mental health, right? We've talked a lot about it, and
it always comes down to it.
And there's an age where you're not fully developed and you don't think things through very good. Now,
it's emotions. You just go.
Yeah. With that being said, I don't disagree with what you're saying, right? An eye for an eye. But I just think that there's bigger problems that need to be addressed.
I do agree. I think that at least provides a deterrent. And that's a pretty strong deterrent not to go and fucking kill somebody. Unless
I would agree with that.
Right? Unless your goal is to off yourself in the end. If, in a country where, hey, yeah, unfortunately. I mean, it's unfortunate this shit happens just in general. Like, it kind of like, it dumbfounds me that this shit is just so common. How do we let somebody, how does somebody climb up on a roof yet again and take another shot? And how? Dude, that shit blows my mind. Like, you would think that in like big events like these, Patrick, that there would be some sort of like security in place, right?
Well, and this is something I want to discuss, which we can discuss this later, but in the videos that I saw, it seemed to be the security was pretty limited.
Yeah.
Now, Charlie Kirk he's a political figure in a way, but like he's not a political candidate.
Yeah, and he didn't have a bunch of security.
So, and that's
because he probably thought everything would be fine.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
I mean, kind of, but when you're on that level, like if I put myself in his shoes, right? And I'm having very heated debates with people that have very strong emotions about him, and seeing how mentally unstable our world is right now, I'd probably be like, you know what? I'm gonna at least put like a bulletproof fucking glass or screen, something around me to make sure I can get shot at.
Yeah, I think hindsight's 2020, but
yeah.
You also shouldn't fucking think like that. But unfortunately, it's getting to the point. Like, you shouldn't be scared to fucking have freedom of speech.
You shouldn't be scared to go outside. You shouldn't be scared to fucking ride a subway.
Be scared to go to school.
Like, right? Yeah. Why? Like, how? And a lot of people are like, they're commenting, oh, see, this is what happens. This guy fucking advocated and he loved guns and he wanted this and that, and he died by a gun. But that doesn't, guns are not the problem. Like, I genuinely don't think that guns are the problem.
I love the Broncos. Am I going to die by Broncos?
You might die because somebody's a fucking, who's their enemy?
The Raiders.
The Chiefs? The Raiders?
The Chargers.
All of them?
Mm-hmm.
They're all their enemies.
Mm-hmm.
But like you might have some crazy fan. But where does it come down to? Like, it's not the I think guns are a tool. Just like, a drill is something there to fucking hang a picture or put up a TV. It depends on the individual that's going to be handling it. And I think, like you said, we've talked about it, mental health is in such a shit place right now where life is almost, it doesn't matter, is what it seems like to most people. I guess maybe not most people. A small majority that do very terrible, very bad things.
Yeah, dude, it sucks, man. It sucks that you have to think differently. I don't know if you've been in public outside of or since then. I was out in public yesterday and I think I was on high alert. Like I was looking at
Yeah,
things differently.
a little bit differently.
Yeah. Like I saw this dude. We were at Buffalo Wild Wings and
Yeah.
we were grabbing lunch yesterday or late dinner, and I saw this dude walking in and he kind of was walking with a purpose and he was walking towards our section, which we were on the back end of the restaurant. And so I'm like kind of like observing him. Clearly
What's
he
gonna
was
happen?
looking for somebody that he was meeting there.
Yeah.
That's what it was. But
Yeah.
in my eyes, I'm like, the fuck is going on?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's, dude, that shit's so you don't carry, do you?
I don't even own a
No.
gun. I probably shouldn't say
So
that.
I carry everywhere I go. Like we pick up the kids from school, I have my gun. Drop them off, I have my gun. Go to the grocery store, I have my gun. And my kids ask me like, Dad, why do you always carry a gun? I was like, because it's there to protect me, it's there to protect you, and it's there to protect the people around me. Like that's the whole purpose. But to your point, you're just walking and you see somebody and they're walking with a purpose, and now that's like that throws up concern, which is so fucking weird. Like we shouldn't have that. Like that turns into a mental health crisis because now people are anticipating something happening.
Yeah, so I talked to my therapist on Thursday. So after all of this happened, and I kind of brought that up. Like it's to the point now where I'm like, do I need to get a gun? And
Yeah.
I know everything is amplified just because it was so recent, and you know, a week and a half from now, things will slowly go back to normal, and then
Mhm.
something's fucking crazy like this will happen again. So going back to your original comment, an eye for an eye. If you start advertising that, you would think maybe that would be a deterrent.
You would hope, right? Yeah, the hope would be there. So I look at it this way. Okay, let's say you have a madman or a mad woman, whatever the fuck you want to say.
It's a man. It's usually
Yeah. Yeah. Let's say you have somebody that's fucking deranged and has mental health issues and they're going to go ahead and commit a crime. Now, let's say you take away all the guns. Do you really think that that crime is not going to be committed? No, they're going to grab a knife. And it's like, I forget what country it is. They have a shitload of stabbings every single year. Almost no gun deaths, but a shitload of stabbings. So that
and
violence,
they don't allow guns.
yeah. And it's still going to happen.
Well,
People
the
are still
subway
going to do evil.
was a stabbing.
It was a stabbing. There was like what I think it was like 2016 or something. There was there was a whole thing where on the subways there'd be groups of it was groups of black kids, like teenagers, and they'd go around with razor blades and it was like cutting. They would cut people with fucking razor blades. For it was like a gang initiation or some shit. Like really? Like innocent fucking people were just I don't fucking get it. That makes me mad. That this you have people that don't have the guidance or don't have the tools and resources to make better choices or give an opportunity to make those choices. And I take that back. I think everybody has the fucking opportunity to make better choices. It's just you choose not to in the moment because it might be inconvenient or judgment, whatever the case might be.
Yeah, dude, it's pretty crazy.
When you said when you were at work or whatnot, you said you had to turn off Facebook because all you heard, that's all it was.
Well, let's
Just all the,
talk about that.
yeah, like all over social media, just all the politics of it.
Well, so a couple things. So I was in meetings all day on Wednesday, and that was when both the Kirk and Evergreen situation happened. Actually, relatively close to each other, I think. At least that's when it was reported. So I was sitting next to somebody who was a big fan of Kirk and brought it up. Her and another person were talking about it. I wasn't familiar with who it was. And then I had received a text message, weirdly enough, from somebody not in Colorado saying another Colorado school shooting. So my, I don't know, my emotions kind of like sparked a little bit. Now, I didn't think it
Yeah.
was at my kid's school because that's typically how I think, which is
Yeah.
not always good. And so then the same lady next to me had pulled up the article, I think, while she was researching the whole Charlie Kirk thing. She had
Yeah.
pulled up the article about the Evergreen shooting. So yeah, man, it was just so weird. It happened like I said, it literally happened within the same meeting, same time frame.
So what they said about that Evergreen shooting, so they said that he used a revolver. That's at least that's what law enforcement is saying. He fired multiple rounds, reloaded, kept trying to find more victims. The security doors and lockdown procedures impeded him from accessing some areas.
So I was told
Dude.
that it happened at the rec center next to the school. Did you confirm that it happened at the school?
So I think one of the kids, one was in the school and one was outside.
Got it.
Yeah, at least that's what they said.
When it sounded like that kid was like idolizing school shooters. So
So mental health, yet again.
yeah, I guess
Like
it was like all over his Instagram and shit like that, which has since now been deleted. But
extremist viewpoints are going to be everywhere. Like nobody's protected from it. I don't care if you're on the fucking left, right, center, inside, outside. Like all the fucking people that want to be so incredibly divisive. It's just it's wild, man. You got shit on all ends of the field.
yeah, it's pretty crazy. So that night I went home and got on Facebook. So a couple things I want to address. So the first thing is, why the fuck is this video still out and so easily accessible? Like why isn't there better monitoring of that stuff?
Yep.
Like you can't see that shit on regular TV. Why can you see it on social media, right? Like my kids have access to social media. I don't want my kids to see that shit. I don't want to see that shit. I
I'll
like
say
seeing
this.
fucked up shit, and I didn't want to see that shit.
I think that the United States and what you have in the media, social media, is fucking nothing compared to the true like heinous reality that we live in, and especially other countries, and the things that they and their kids are constantly seeing. And they're not seeing it on social media, they're seeing it firsthand, like far more frequent. So I think why my shit is so loud. I think that there's a potentially an eye-opening thing for people.
I think the other part for me that I just don't like is that like within 24 hours you can still see videos of it, and like I don't know. I stopped looking on Wednesday night, but within 24 hours you could still see videos of it. I think my concern is that people will continuously like watch this and it just brings out more anger.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you're
Does.
continuously watching this, you're getting more and more upset every time you see it.
Yep.
And it just creates this more division than we already have.
Yeah. I agree.
But yeah, I saw it on Facebook. Somebody had actually sent me the clip from about 200 feet out, if I had to guess. It was a ways away, but you could still, I mean, it was clear as shit what happened.
Oh, dude, I went on Instagram once I saw that something happened. And I don't go on Instagram, but I know that that's where a majority of, especially the younger generation, kind of go to still. And there's an angle that was no further from me to my TV right now. And
I don't know where your TV's at though, so that doesn't help me.
it's very, very close.
I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Maybe like 15, 20 feet, right?
Right.
I'm like, you can see everything that's happening. And there's just no way that he was gonna survive that, and to your point, it was all over, and I think it was up for probably 24 hours, you can still find him, and you're gonna watch him and get more and more frustrated and angry because why does this shit have to happen? Why do we have to have this shootings and shit happening? You know?
Yeah, I don't know.
It
It's
fucking pissed you off though, right?
it
You
did.
couldn't go anywhere. Like, you could not walk away from it because it was all over.
Well, yeah, and I'll share it for my Fatherhood Unscripted. I definitely want to talk about an interaction I had with one of my kids. So yeah, man, I don't know. I don't know. It was definitely it impacted me more than, and obviously it's an accumulation of two major events, one happening so close to me, and then the political division within the country that's happening, and then to see something like this, and then to see so many people going at each other, especially on Facebook. It's just it was fucking mentally draining, and
Yep,
you're like questioning so many things.
yep. You have people saying fucking good riddance. You have people saying, "Hey, I hope everything's okay." Like, and it's yeah, to your point, it just everybody got so fucking nasty about it. Instead of just be like, "Hey, this is fucked up." Doesn't matter who it is, it's fucked up. There's people comparing it to like the George Floyd thing, and they're like, "Oh well, you know what? No, no, sorry, not him. The Iryna, the stabbing. Like,
Oh, it was compared to George Floyd.
yeah, well, people were saying like, dude, if this was the other way around, and then on that train it was four white people sitting around while some black female was sitting there, and some dude just stabbed her, and nobody did anything. There would be outrage. There'd be fucking riots, buildings on fire, like. But no, there was nothing because it just wasn't seen. Nobody saw it as like, oh, this is terrible. It's fucking terrible, man. No matter who it is. You have somebody getting stabbed and you don't do anything?
Did you
Uh,
watch the video?
yeah. Yeah, she got stabbed 3 times, and you can see because the screenshot that most people see is her looking up, and she's got her hands right here because she's in fucking shock because her life is literally ending, and, like, 5, 6 seconds later, she she starts to lose every single thing that's inside of her, and she falls over, and then she's literally like, here's the seat." So here's the seat, and then there's a thing right in front of it, and she literally just falls in this little fucking crevice, and these people are just sitting there. And, like, I'm sure there's a certain level
What?
of dude, it was fucked up. They were literally sitting there, nobody responded. Nobody did anything.
That's crazy.
The dude's walking with fucking blood dripping from his hand. Like, he literally stood up and started jabbing at this chick, and they just sat there.
It was completely unprovoked, right?
No, she literally sat
Like they
dude,
didn't
she
even
sat
have
in
an
front of me,
interaction.
and nope.
So so I looked up the article on the dude, also mental health, by the way. And
Carlos,
yeah, yeah, yeah. And the only video I saw, and it's funny because I actually thought it was a female at first.
yeah.
Did he have dreads?
Yes, I think they're just super uncapped. So, he was diagnosed with schizophrenia.
Oh, he was.
Yeah, his family said he was hearing voices and had delusions, felt that Irina was reading his mind, believed he had materials, chips, etc.,
Materials,
implanted in
that's
his
right.
body. His family tried to obtain psychiatric help prior to the attack. According to the family, behavioral charges, mental health episodes, unsuccessful attempts to get help, some past involvement with hospitals or would be mental health evaluations. But then this dude's still fucking out. He's got 14 prior arrests, robbery, with a dangerous weapon, breaking and entering, larceny, also prior issues like misuse of 911 system. Like, dude, how you have all this shit? And I'm sure this chick probably was, you know what? There's a seat. I understand their world's fucked up. I'm gonna sit right here. And she made a choice to sit there and it probably thinking, given the benefit of the doubt, I'm not gonna judge a book by its cover. And then she's fucking dead. I don't know about you. When I go anywhere, I'm paying attention to where I'm sitting, who I'm sitting by, and who's walking past me.
I mean, I've always been that way. I was getting my hair cut one day, and the lady asked me if I was in the military or a cop, and I said no. Why? She's like, you observe a lot of things while you are sitting here. I've just always been that way. I like watching people. I don't
Yeah.
know, I guess, but at the same time, I just want to be prepared for whatever.
Well, would you look, so I guarantee there's gonna be people like, oh, you can't fucking judge a book by its cover. I'm telling you right now, when you look at somebody, you have a initial judgment of that person and of that individual. You either bypass that judgment and say, you know what, it's fine. But I'm telling you right now, your gut 99.9% of the time is usually right.
Well, and it's so much worse here in Denver now than it used to be. Like, there's just so many people out um,
Upstairs.
in the streets that whether they're homeless or addicts or homeless addicts,
Yeah.
you just kind of have to be on high alert to protect yourself.
I I thought there was a lot when I was down there, but now there's way more, huh?
Well, I mean, it's definitely COVID induced, so obviously you were here after that, but I'm saying from 10 years ago, it's substantially different.
Jesus. It says what? Substantially different?
Yeah, from 10 years ago. I think a lot of it's COVID induced and obviously the political landscape.
Well, you got like people shooting up and shit on the streets. They're saying,
Oh yeah,
it's
I
like,
don't
yeah.
know about it.
And that's baffling, dude. It baffles me. We have, I don't even know what the cure for all the mental health shit is, man. I'll be honest,
I don't either.
but
I
it's
mean,
got to be.
clearly nobody does. That's why
Yeah,
we're in the situation we're in.
drugs and like medications are probably not it. What's the best thing to make you feel good? It's feeling accomplished and doing something. And I think a lot of people have lost that, and they're looking for that instant gratification that you get from social media and whatever it might be, eating a fucking snack, chopping down on sugar, and there's no prolonged dopamine. Everyone's searching for that quick high, and whether they're doing drugs or it's health related or, violence related. Hey, I feel terrible. I'm gonna go fucking kill somebody, and then I'm gonna feel great, and then it's gone just like that. And now they're back into the same state they were, and now they're way worse off because nobody was there to be like, "Hey, don't be fucking stupid."
Well, and I've had some sketchy dudes come into the sober house, but I'm a big believer in not judging a book by the cover. We try to get somebody that's had at least 30 days of sobriety before they come in because of their mental state.
Yeah,
I think the risk of using when you've been sober for 3 days versus 30 is also substantially different. I don't know what the
yeah,
statistics are on it, but we've had a couple situations where the dude seemed like he really didn't want to use. He went to detox for 3 days and had nowhere to go. And we've had situations where we've let them in the house, but they've been highly monitored just because of that.
well, and you have people in the house that also know what to look for too. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
that
yeah.
they're probably trying to guide them in the right direction.
Well, and I'm not trying to be funny either, but there's addicts are all walks of life, right? Like
Yep.
it's a disease that gets everybody. It doesn't matter if you're rich or if you're poor or if you're white or you're black or you're Republican or you're Democrat. It's it's everyone. So
You can
um
be addicted to anything.
right. Well, and alcohol's the it's 90% of the people in the house are alcohol abusers.
No shit. Really?
Oh yeah, it's been that way since we started.
Oh,
Not like your alcohol abuse either.
no, 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 no. Yeah, like straight up waking up and needing it.
Yep.
And like I've had someone very close to me. I'll put it that way, who had an issue with the alcohol, and now it's they don't want to be around situations where people are like that or intoxicated because that's a difficult thing to do. You know, when you've done something and you've avoided it for so long and you've been on the right path, it's kind of a difficult thing to go and have that interaction. And be like, hey, yeah, I'd like to go and hang with these people, but no, not if they're drinking.
Right.
And for me, it's like the only time I go outside and hang out with my neighbors is usually if I'm drinking, just because I fucking hate people. Like it makes it so much easier to go and like have a conversation than um, just going out and just not doing anything. Like it's difficult. Speaking of alcohol, my neighbors that just moved in next to me are both Russian, which is awesome. There's two
Nice.
Russian dudes, and got to speak to them in Russian and communicate, have a good time, and then they bought me a bottle of vodka. So
Not nice.
that was nice. I drank half of it last night. My wife told me I couldn't drink the other half.
Is there is there expensive bottles of vodka?
Yeah, I'm sure there is. So there's the brand that I like is Beluga. It's very good. It's very good. This is just Russian standard.
All right, let's do Fatherhood Unscripted. I think it's a good stopping point, and
I
then
agree.
we can spend the back half of the episode talking about the impact on our kids and shit of this
Great
stuff.
idea.
Thank you.
All right,
All right,
lead the way, sir.
You want to go first? So, I don't. Obviously, we just talked about it. I was struggling with not necessarily with debating whether my kids went to school or not, but it was just like with the specifically with the shooting Evergreen. So Evergreen is in the same county that my kids go to school, and it's roughly like
Oh, shit.
15 minutes away from where my kids go to school.
Oh, really?
And so for me, it kind of just it hit home a little bit harder. Davis was out late that night. He had volleyball practice from 8:30 till 10:30, and I was asleep, and he'd sent me a text message essentially saying, "Hey, there's a lot of people saying that we shouldn't go to school tomorrow. What are your thoughts?" And so I didn't read it until the next morning. I got up at like 4:30 and I shot him a text message and said, "Honestly, I'm good if you guys don't go to school tomorrow," because it was almost this like sense of relief. But I also told him that we can't live our life in fear, and life's got to go on. So most of the conversation we had was via text message back and forth. Davis is a pretty intelligent kid, pretty common sense oriented. Like he just understands things, if that makes sense. I guess it's not really this great fatherhood unscripted, but I did not let my kids go to school on Thursday. Davis and I had a meeting at the school at 5:30 for a trip he's going on, and we got to the school and there was actually two cops in the parking lot, which made me
Good.
feel a little bit better.
Yeah.
I don't know how long they're going to be there. I don't even know if they were there on Friday, but it did make me feel a little bit better. So,
Um, I think you need to lower your bar a little bit
you need to lower your bar.
because I think you peaked at a point.
I did peak
Um,
in
I
my
think that was,
30s.
I think in your 30s. I think that was a good Fatherhood Unscripted though, right? Because it's a realistic conversation to have with your kids. It's a serious. I think it's anxiety inducing in the kids now because they can't just go to school and just focus on learning. They're focused on, hey, why is this kid doing this or that? And especially when the shootings happen, I I think there are conversations that happen pretty often, Patrick. So I think and having a conversation with your kids like you did about it, I think is really, really important.
I agree.
Um, huh?
What do you got?
So we actually, like I said, I don't watch our podcast. Just like I just usually don't.
Loser.
Like after I edit it, I'm like, I'm done. I actually sat down and watched it, and we watched the whole entire episode. And then there's a part when I was talking about my daughter. So when I walked over to school, so I was like, hey, just so you know, I'm incredibly proud of you. I love you. You're beautiful, and just kind of like let her have it. And when she's like, Dad, you can't say that. I'm about to walk into school. I can't be crying. And she didn't cry. She put it together. But when she heard me say it on the podcast, she broke down and she started crying, and it made me tear up too because she's in the middle. You know, she's got an older brother and a younger brother. She used to be my number one attention, and as time goes on, the attention has to get split. And I think for her, kind of hearing that was was impactful. I mean, it was impactful enough that it made her cry. And sometimes I forget that she is that sweet little girl, and she's not just, full of attitude and rage. But it was just wild, man. That's all.
That's awesome. What made you guys watch this last podcast?
I think my wife just mentioned it, but we
She had
couldn't
already
find
seen it by that point.
she saw some of it.
This was that was the one she said was one of her favorites? Or no, was that the one
Yeah,
before?
yeah. The one that we just had, she said it was her favorite. Um, she wasn't through it all the way, so we just tossed it up on the TV and watched it, and it was nice.
All right. Let's that's awesome, by the way. That's cool.
Wrap it up.
It's cool that you guys did it. What'd you say?
I said, let's what wrap it up.
No, let's talk about the impact of obviously being fathers and how this impacts our kids.
I think this makes me angry more than anything. I'll be honest. So we have a meeting in school with my daughter's teacher because she told my daughter, "Hey, you've made me seem like a liar 2 times now, and if it happens again, this is all you're gonna get." And she pointed at a B. And my daughter told me this as we were walking out of school. So I turned right around, and I her counselor right there was like, "Hey, I'm letting you know right now, I'm pretty fucking irritated that what my daughter just told me. So I'm not sure if I need to bring this up to you and then we bring it up to the teacher, or if I can just go and talk to this teacher." She's like, "Oh, what happened?" I was like, "Well, my daughter said that her teacher's exact words were, 'You've made me seem like a liar multiple times or 2 times. And now if you make me seem like a liar again, a B is all you're going to get.'" And my daughter doesn't lie. Like she might give me shit, but she doesn't lie about stuff, and especially that kind of things. And she's like, "Oh, that sounds like it could have been a misunderstanding." I was like, "I'm telling you right now, misunderstanding or not, that I'm not okay with that." And then she called out the principal. Principal comes outside, and I said, "Hey, like we need to have this conversation." because that right there is literally somebody telling my child, "Don't fucking speak up or something else is gonna happen." There is no fucking chance that that's gonna ever fly with me. Um, so I am like, and I think the reason that this whole like Charlie Kirk shit and all this other stuff is so frustrating is because, dude, you have people that are just trying to silence others. And if it starts in school with kids, I mean, if you're a teacher and you're telling a student not to speak up, mm.
What was the whole situation?
So my daughter's felt like she's been singled out since she got into school with this teacher because their whole first week she was sick, right? And
Right.
then she had a test the I think the day before. She had a test the day before, and we were looking through it. I'm like, this doesn't. I was like, there's nothing wrong on here, and she's like, yeah, there's nothing wrong. I was like, so why did you get a B? She's like, I don't know. She's like, she said we have another attempt. Blah blah blah. The testing was a misunderstanding. So that I don't care. Like, cool, you grade like a fucking weirdo. This new fucking grading shit is so dumb. Dude, A, B, C, D, fucking F. There's
Did you say E?
there's no E. But this is dude, this is how
E is
this
for excellent.
oh my god, this is how this shit's like really like dude, it made me so angry. It makes me so mad that it was along the lines of somebody saying, "Hey, don't tell your parents this." Mm,
Yeah, it's not good.
no, I know. So
So
like,
you have a meeting with the teacher?
yeah, on
When is
Tuesday
it?
and the principal in the morning.
You gonna you gonna be cooled off by then?
No,
Okay.
no, I'm gonna
Is this festering right now?
be very respectful, but I'm also gonna be like,
Very direct.
yeah, I'm gonna be far more direct than dude. It's because I guarantee there's gonna be like, oh well, I think she just misunderstood what I said, and my response to that is, hey, I don't care if she misunderstood what you said. If that's what she got out of it, that's a problem, and that shouldn't be coming out of your mouth. You're a fucking teacher. I'm just punch her in her face.
Nope, nope, nope,
Nope,
nope, nope, nope.
nope,
Not doing that.
not doing that. I'm not doing that. Maybe a little one slugger.
Yeah, I think for me in this whole chaos that's happened, I Logan and I had a pretty interesting conversation, and not to like get into any politics, but I would say I'm more center, but lean a little bit more towards the right based off of where I grew up and what I do for a living. But I'm not an extremist by any means or anything. And then I think Logan is kind of center and leans more towards the left. But we had an interesting conversation yesterday on the phone, and I think our views are similar in this situation. And it sucks, and I don't know, man. It's just, honestly, Wednesday was a tough day for me, and it's weird that it was that impactful on my life. I think that when you have kids, it changes a lot of things. Uh, I think I was a little affected with Columbine because I was in school at the time. I don't think I cried or anything like that, but I was just like, holy shit. But I
Yep.
also lived this life where it's not going to happen to me. And then with Evergreen being so freaking close to my kid's school, it's just like, fuck, this is close.
Yep.
So yeah, me and the younger, what'd you say?
I said it was very close to you.
Yeah, very
eventually.
close. Me and the younger two kind of talked a little bit about it, and um, I think that they're too young to understand the impact of Charlie Kirk. Jackson's definitely not too young. Evelyn probably is, but Jackson's not. Um, but we definitely talked about Evergreen, and yeah, it's just shitty that this is the world we live in right now.
Yeah, it's rough that those are the conversation we gotta have with the kids. Because my kids
Yeah.
are asking about it too. They're like, "What happened?" I was like, "Guy got shot because people are shitty." And like I know like this so the Charlie Kirk thing really fucking pisses me off. But what is more frustrating for me, you know, the school shootings fucking really make me mad, especially that my kids are back in school now. But that chick, I don't know why. I think dude, she literally left Ukraine. She left in 22. Her family left because of the war, and they were trying to start their shit in America. They did everything right, and then somebody just takes her fucking life. You have somebody that's using their freedom of speech, and somebody takes their life. You have children that are meant to go to an institution to be educated, and for some reason, somebody ends their life.
Well, that didn't actually happen, but tried to. Nobody died from Evergreen except for the shooter.
Those, nobody died.
I think 3 people were hit.
So two students.
Yeah, they were just shot. They weren't killed.
In their
It
critical
doesn't
condition.
change your outlook. I'm just confirming that nobody died.
Well, yeah, yeah. Like the point is though, like you
Yeah, yeah.
have people just they just do this shit, man. I I hate that you have to be concerned about your kids going to school. Hate that you have to be worried when you're fucking getting on a train. Hate that you have to be concerned if you go to a large crowd.
Yeah, if you go to an event of any type,
Dude,
you
like
gotta worry.
remember that Vegas one, right? That
Yeah,
Vegas
that shit was
shooting?
crazy too.
Like what the fuck? And that was a long time ago. But I mean, once when I saw that one for me was like, you know what? I'm good. Like I'm fucking good. Oh, you want to go do this? It's like don't live your life in fear. Well, I'm telling you right now, there's fear and then there's self-preservation. For me, my self-preservation is don't go into large areas like that because you don't know what's going to happen. And I got a wife and 3 beautiful children that I don't think I'd want to risk going to a concert just because I fucking like them. As stupid as that sounds.
Right. Right.
I'm still gonna go to the grocery store, but you know what I'm saying? Who knows what happens to the world in the next 5, 10 years.
Well, it's just limiting your risks, right? That's
Yeah.
what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah, limit your risk. Be conscious about your surroundings. Pay attention. Like if you feel something's off, guess what? I'm telling you right now, it probably is. Don't ignore it and remove yourself. If nothing happens, great. But you definitely don't want to be in a position where you're with your family and you had a bad feeling and you didn't listen to it.
And something happens.
Exactly. We have intuition for a reason. Well, anything you want to add, Patrick?
No, I think it's important. I think we've talked about it. I mean, obviously we talked about shootings less than a month ago. We talked about mental health. back in May, I think.
Yep.
I think that was Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. I think it's important to have conversations with your kids and understand where they are at mentally to avoid these types of situations happen.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying the parents of the Evergreen shooter that didn't happen, and I'm not saying the parents of Charlie Kirk's shooter that didn't happen, but I just think that if your kid is not doing good mentally, you need to get him some help or her.
Yeah.
Because, the shitty thing is I feel for the parents of the Evergreen shooter because, the kid went and did
Yeah.
this and then he took his own life and they got to live with that the rest of their life. And that sucks. It sucks.
Wow. So today we talked about Charlie Kirk's assassination. We talked about the stabbing of Iryna, and we talked about the Evergreen shooting. The one thing all these things have in common is mental health, and there's a true impact in this day and age of just people really needing some help and not being able to get it the right way. I think in a Charlie Kirk's one, it's more so having opposing viewpoints, and instead of having a conversation, which is what he wanted to do, taking their life because you had a very extremist way of looking at it. You're allowed to be Democrat, you're allowed to be Republican, you're allowed to be in the middle, libertarian, whatever it is that you want to be. But you need to understand that there's extremes on all ends. And when you get to those extremes, that's when it's a problem. Extremism seems to be a little bit more rampant nowadays. You have people with very, very divisive thoughts, whether it's race, politics, the motive for the Evergreen shooting, I don't know, but I can't imagine that. I mean, well, you said that there was he idolized the school shooters. Pay attention. Pay attention is all I can say from our episode. I think everybody needs to have their wits about them. Don't ignore your own intuition.
Did you say don't ignore your own intuition? All right, this one's gonna be a little lighthearted. I was trying to look for lighthearted ones because I knew we were talking about something not so lighthearted. So, would you rather have uncontrollable orgasms every
Yes.
time somebody said a pun? Did you
Yes.
just say yes?
Yes.
Or uncontrollable laughter every time someone touches you?
No orgasms. Yeah, I'd be coming all the time.
Would you be just saying puns just so you
Just
can
so I could,
orgasm?
yeah. Yeah. Like, what's wrong with your dad? Does he have cerebral palsy? He was like, no, he's just coming. Can't stop coming. He's been doing this for years now. His body's contorted. How about
Yeah,
you?
I'm in the same boat. I'm in the same I do like laughing. The the laughing one is second on the list.
You would do the laughing?
No,
Oh,
no,
you would
no,
you would
no,
definitely.
no.
Oh, you would do the orgasm?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, 100%. Can you imagine this episode if that's what it was? We'd be sitting here doing puns the whole entire time. Oh my god, that would be so funny. That
It'd
was
be
a good
funny.
game
It'd
right
also be
there.
a little weird.
Honey, wife, question for you. Would you rather have uncontrollable laughter every time somebody touched you, or an uncontrollable orgasm every single time somebody said a pun? I do. You didn't pick one. You didn't pick one, dude.
She didn't pick one.
Yeah.
Well, as many puns as you say, I'm sure it's that one, but
But yeah, that was a great question, Patrick. I like that one.
Thank you.
Kick it out.
Yep. Let's do it. Like, follow. Damn, that's loud, bro. Like, follow, subscribe, comment. Appreciate our new followers as well.
That's
50 new followers.
right.
50-ish.
Thank you guys.
Compass on.
See you guys next week.